Hello there, welcome. BOBCAST. It's Sunday, it's the 14th of June. This is either number 84 or 82 or 81. There's a big debate as to how many there are. If you can work it out, answers on a postcard, please. Some say 84, some say 81. I missed some out. It's all quite complex. Who knows? Does it matter? No, it doesn't. I'm going to carry on my numbering system anyway. So this is number, whatever it was in the last one, plus one. So, how's your day been? It's Sunday, so it's always a bit of a strange day for me because I'm always expecting to do a bit of work on a Sunday, but I haven't been because it's Sunday. So I watched myself on the telly. That was good, and I think nearly 55 of you have watched so far. Not a huge number compared to lots of others, but I think it's pretty impressive. So 55 have watched our service so far, and I hope some more will during the week. And I also watched some other ones. They were all very good, as always. Took the dogs for a walk. And then my day has sort of gone around food, really. I had a chat this morning with somebody who does a lot, likes their food, as I do. And it was their birthday. Oh, by the way, so many people these days are just far too judgmental. I can tell just by looking at them. How do you keep an idiot in suspense? I've dedicated my whole life now to finding a cure for insomnia, and I won't rest until I find it. Anyhow, back to the food. So this person was celebrating their birthday today, and Smile had bought them a very nice afternoon tea. Really lovely afternoon tea with all the things on it you would imagine. Cakes and sandwiches and carrots were on there too. A really nice selection of sandwiches. Very impressive. It was delivered home. And there were scones. Two different types. Cheese and onion and jam and cream. Jam and cream look nice. Cheese and onion, well, that's a very nice scone. Very nice. Do I mean scone? I love the cheese and onion scone though. I'm back to onions in a minute. Do I mean scone? Depends where you come from. Depends where you're from. How do you say scone? Because you know it's a scone until it's scone. When it's gone, it's gone. Yeah, it's absolutely. SC one at a time. That's it. So you a sconer or a sconner? Sounds a bit strange. Oh, she's a right sconner, that one. Oh, he's a bit of a sconer. Well, who knows? Who knows? I'm trying to find some new jokes for you because somebody said we need some new ones, Bob. And I found this which made me smile. There were 4 brothers who left home and all went to college. They were very successful. One was a lawyer, one was a doctor. One was a hedge fund operator. That's nothing to do with, privets and that type of thing. And another was a retailer. They all did very well. And a few years later, they'd gathered together for a meal. And they were all discussing what they had done and discussing the gifts they'd given to their elderly mother. One of them said, well, I had a big house built for our mother. Lovely big house. The other one said, yes, and I had £100,000 theatre built in the house for her. And the next one said, well, I had the Mercedes dealer deliver her a brand new 600 SL Mercedes and chauffeur. And the fourth said, listen, you know how Mum really enjoys reading the Bible? And now she can't see? And well, she can't see very well. I sent her a parrot that can recite the entire Bible. It took 20 theologians 12 years to teach him how to write it. And I had to pledge £100,000 a year for 20 years. But it was worth it. Mum just has to name the chapter and the verse, and the parrot will recite it. Well, that's pretty good. Soon after, Mum sent out her thank you notes, and she wrote to the first son. She said, Milton, the house you built is so huge. I live only in one room, but I have to clean the whole house. Thank you so very much. Marvin, I'm too old to travel. I stay home. I have my groceries delivered. So I never use the Mercedes. And the driver's just a waste of space. A million thanks. John, you gave me the theatre with Dolby Sound. It could hold 50 people. But all my friends are dead. I've lost my hearing and I'm nearly blind. But, well, thanks anyway. Dearest Ian, you're the only son to have the good sense to give a little thought to your gift. The chicken was absolutely delicious. Yes. Then there was this young man who said he wanted to become a great writer. When asked to define what he meant by great, he said, I want to write stuff that the whole world will read, stuff that that people will react to on a truly emotional level, stuff that will make them scream, cry, wail and howl in pain, desperation and anger. He now works for Microsoft, writing error messages. Well, I thought it was quite funny. So today could be a bit of an onion day for me, because I was cooking tea. And I started cooking tea, and actually I could call BOBCAST the onion cast today, because I started cooking tea and we were having roast lamb. Nice shoulder of lamb, my favourite piece of lamb. It's a little bit fatty. If you trim the fat off, it's fine. But it's a sweet meat, and I like it. And I always just pop a little bit of garlic into it, stick it in the oven with some salt on top. And one of the things I like to do is roast potatoes round it, because I think the juice from the lamb comes out and goes into the potatoes. And if you've got some good King Edwards, then they roast beautifully, and also a few parsnips as well. So I did that, but I also like onion sauce. You know, onions boiled and a white sauce made into a white sauce. I cheat, by the way. I use corn flour and milk. So I boil the onions and let them just reduce ever so slightly. When they begin to get soft, I put in a big lump of butter, awfully good for you, and then I beat up corn flour with milk, pop it in, grate in lots of black pepper, stir it around, and it thickens. And that was fine. So I put the onions on to boil, then came to find some jokes for BOBCAST. You can guess the rest. Black onions, burnt to bits. Absolutely well and truly burnt to bits. Nightmare. And I was thinking of those nice onion, cheese and onion scones or scones that we talked about earlier, and then my black onions, which are now outside in the pan. I filled it with water. I'm going to put some washing powder in later and see whether that clears them up a bit, makes it a bit easier to scrape the black off. And because it really is burnt to a crisp. And I like crisps. Maybe I could put some cheese in, cheese and onion crisps. Not so sure about that. And yeah, so I was thinking about onions, and then that made me think about what I'd made at lunchtime, because you'll know that a few weeks ago, if you go on my Facebook page, I made onion marmalade. I made lots of it. I over-ordered onions. It was right at the beginning of lockdown, if you remember, and I completely forgot. So I ordered so many. So I chopped up hundreds. I think about 35 onions. Made lots of onion marmalade, and I've developed this new this new lunch, which is to get a roll, open it, maybe pop on some a little bit of butter or margarine. Butter is good. There's a nice French butter you get with sea salt. That makes it fabulous. And butter it on, then spread on some of this onion marmalade, grated cheese on top of it, and under the grill. And it's really nice because we often have grated toasted cheese and that type of thing. I love toast, I love cheese, and toasted cheese, and you put marmalade or something like that on top of it, or Branston pickle or whatever. But because it comes up from underneath, it gives a really different flavour. I believe it's nice in all sorts of ways. A friend of mine did it on soda bread and said it was fab. So there we go. So these whole onions, just just really drove me up the wall. I've got a piece of music playing in the background. That's from the Beatles Double White album, Looking Through a Glass Onion, and that's a great album. If you haven't listened to that recently, have a listen. So I'm running short of time, so I'm going to give you a quick onion poem just because I found one now. When I think how far the onion has travelled just to enter my stew today, I could kneel and praise small forgotten miracles, crackly paper peeling on the draining board, pearly layers in smooth agreement, the way the knife enters onion and onion falls apart on the chopping block, a history revealed. I could never scold the onion for causing tears. It is right that tears fall for something small and forgotten. How at a meal we sit to eat, commenting on the texture of meat or herbal aroma, but never on the translucence of the onion, now limp, now divided, or its traditionally honourable career. For the sake of others, it disappears. That's called The Travelling Onion by Naomi Shihab Nye, and I rather liked it actually. I thought it was really quite nice, and this is still the glass onion playing away in the background. So, what's your favourite food? What have you cooked for Sunday lunch or for Sunday dinner? Have you done a bit of cremation as I have, and really made a mess of that of burning the pan? Will the pan get clean again? That is the $1 million question. And are there any funnier jokes that I could tell you? Well, talking of parrots, an old lady went to an auction sale, and there she saw a parrot in a gilded cage. The parrot was large, healthy looking, and exquisitely coloured. The lady loved it, thought it was fabulous, so she bid, determined to have the parrot. But there was another bidder competing her and drove the price very high. Eventually, the old lady bought the parrot. She was at the cashier's desk and told the cashier that she was so excited about the beautiful appearance of the parrot that she neglected to ask if she could talk. The parrot spoke up and said, "Who do you think was bidding against you?" Okay, that's the end of my parrot jokes. There is another one with lab reports and things, but I'll do that another day. So, hope your onions are not like mine and burnt to bits. I did make another pot, by the way. It didn't take me very long, and it was quite delicious. If you want the recipes, give me a shout. But remember, an open roll, some butter, some onion marmalade, and cheese on top under the toast. Onion marmalade first, cheese on top, then the flavour comes through. Quite delicious. Right, food, onions, you know your onions. It was an appealing job. And yes, exactly. Did I tell you that I've dedicated my whole life to finding a cure for insomnia? What does a lawyer name his daughter? Sue. Of course it does. Right. I think that's more than enough from me. So you take care. God bless you. And another Sunday comes. We begin Monday tomorrow. And the whole week starts again. So watch thou, dear Lord, with those who wake or watch or weep tonight, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend your sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest your weary ones and bless your dying ones. Soothe your suffering ones, pity your afflicted ones, and shield your joyous ones. And all for your love's sake. Amen. I have to tell you that no onions were intentionally hurt during the making of this BOBCAST. Bye.